Man, this is real life handyman work here. Man, I totally messed up this estimate on this handyman job. But anyways, let's get to this video. I'll explain a little bit more. Good morning, friend. Got all my goodies from Home Depot this morning. Pretty excited about my job today. Today was one of those days where it's like, when you get everything in your cart, like you look at your cart and you're like excited for the work that you got going on. I'm pretty excited for the work I'm doing today. Rebuilding a gate again, which is pretty awesome. Who doesn't love doing that? And then doing some sprinkler valve replacements. They're just leaking like crazy, so looking forward to that. And then doing some electrical work, so that is always fun for sure. So yeah, man, let's get to it. Today's gonna be a great day. Let's do it. Okay, here we are. We're gonna be replacing 3 of these sprinkler valves. This one's just leaking a little bit right here. It's got all these crusties on it. This one's leaking down here, and this one leaks a little bit out of the solenoid base when you turn it on. So we're going to get those 3 replaced. And then this is the gate that I'm replacing. This also looks pretty bad here. This was how I found it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this 2x4 while I'm at it here. And then this is the gate here that I'm replacing. So that'll be a fun rebuild, and then we're just going to put a new 2x4 up here to reattach that. So everything should be good, so let's get to it. Okay, they got a main water shut off, and then this one just goes to the sprinkler, so we just turned that one off. Tested this sprinkler here, so it's off. Okay, now that I got my risers put on my sprinkler valves that I'm replacing, it's time to hook the male adapter connectors up to my new sprinkler valve, and then we're gonna plop them on. Okay, now that I got everything assembled, we are ready to cut these to size and then plop them on there. So I got this one, this is the drip one, I got that hooked back up here, so that kind of gives me a good measurement for that one. Alright, we got them all glued up. Try not to make too much of a mess there. That one glued up, so everything looks great. So we'll let those sit for a little while, and then we'll test them out. But in the meantime, we'll get started on this gate here. Man, I love the look of a new gate. Doesn't that look awesome? Alright, I got this gate all installed. I had the gate installed here, but then the post was sagging a little bit. Really, when I quoted this job, I should have quoted a new fence post here, but I did not. You can see this fence here is fairly new, and they replaced all the fence posts but this one. So basically right now what I'm trying to do is I knocked out some of the concrete. I'm trying to shore it up with some new concrete. It'll probably need to be replaced, but I'm going to give this a try. And then I'm going to reinstall this gate here. But while that cement is drying, I'm going to go inside and start on some of the electrical. That one worked pretty good. I got this light installed. Very nice. Okay, we got all the work done there at that house except for that gate, just finishing up that gate. Man, that fence post that the gate rides on is pretty rotten. I should have caught that when I did my estimate, but I didn't, man. I mean, there was like this time when I was going through this funk, and it was around the time when I was doing this estimate. So yeah, I missed that, but we're trying to shore it up. It's not super broken, it's just kind of wobbly. So I chipped out some of the concrete, put in new concrete, trying to shore it up. So I'm gonna let that sit while I'm at lunch and away, and then hopefully we'll be good to go afterwards. I'll just mount that gate back up and we'll see. But yeah, I got that that LED light fixture mounted above the kitchen sink, so that was pretty cool. And then converted some of those halogen bulbs to LED light kits in the kitchen, and then got the sprinkler valves done. So yeah, really all that's left to do, get wrapped up, is that gate. But once I get back from lunch, I'm going to see how that fence post is holding up, and see if it's ready to go, or if it's going to need to be pulled out and be replaced. We're going to see what's up with that. I want to talk about something that I talked about with the guy who gave me a call yesterday during that consulting call. And his main question was, you know, he started up his business in June, a few months ago, and he's really been having trouble kind of just getting a good client base, you know, getting people that, he explained it like he's having trouble clients coming to him rather than him having to chase clients. And that's something that is very common, especially when people first start up their business. But what I told him is the number one thing that you need to focus on is getting a good marketing funnel and a good marketing plan in place. And for me, that really starts with being online. A website is key. Facebook, Instagram, Google, Yelp, all that stuff is a must. Because nowadays, like, you can reach so many people on social media with a click of one button, or having one person share your post more than you can just knocking on someone's door or calling people up or cold calling or whatever. Marketing, online marketing is the way to go for sure for your handyman business. And that's just something that we talked about. Hooked him up with some courses and some good material to get him started along that path. Yeah, pretty great talk, but I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys. I don't know if you guys have a good online marketing strategy, but that's the way to go. That's what's worked great for me. Okay, while I was at lunch, I called the homeowner there, and I talked to her. She's actually at work today, so her dad was the one at the house with me, let me in and stuff like that. But anyways, I chatted with her and told her what was going on with that fence post, and she said, hey, no sweat, go ahead and replace that fence post if you need to. I told her the price, and she was completely cool with the price. I think for me, I was a little nervous to like give her a price. I hate because that's the whole reason why I give an estimate beforehand, so there's no funny business. You know, everyone knows exactly what's needed, exactly what's going on, exactly how much you're paying, things like that. But so I was a little nervous to like call her back and be like, hey, we're gonna need an extra this much money. But she was completely fine with it. She's like, you know, stuff happens, you know, no big deal, you missed it, but you can go ahead and, you know, put a new one in, no big deal. So she approved it. She was completely fine with the estimate. So we're gonna go ahead and just pull that old one out and put the new post in. So that's what we're gonna do once we get back. So going to Home Depot right now, almost there to pick up a new fence post. Yeah, gonna get it, man. We're gonna get going and get this job completed for this client. It may have to go into tomorrow, but I'm gonna get the fence post set tonight, just so that, because normally I like letting the fence post concrete sit for like at least like 3 hours before I, you know, put a gate on it. They say you could do it after 1 hour, but I don't know, I feel better with 3. But yeah, so it's gonna be great. We're gonna come back probably tomorrow morning and finish it up. But yeah, let's get it. Let's get her done. Man, again, there's nowhere to park for the trailer. Man, even like in the middle of the day. Because these spots would be perfect, but there's like carts galore everywhere. So I've got to park out here. Hey, there's a Milwaukee truck. The Milwaukee truck is here. Remember, like quite a few videos I told you that the Milwaukee lady wasn't here for a while, and just the DeWalt guy was. So, anyways, Milwaukee truck. Getting a new one of these concrete mixing pans because I forgot mine at the job I did yesterday. But I'll have to go back and get it. But in the meantime, because that's like all the way across town, so in the meantime, I'll just grab a new one, and they're like $5. But I'm gonna go grab the other one probably later. All right, we're back. Let's get to pulling this post out here. I always keep these scrap 2x4s on my truck just for stuff like this, you know. I got these off of a job. I tore something down a while back, but they were perfect just for, you know, being scrap pieces to hold stuff together. Yeah, that was a good call to pull this out. All right, we got the fence post set in the concrete here. It is 4 o'clock, so I don't think we're going to be able to hang this gate today. Be too late. I want to let it sit for at least 3 hours. So I think coming back tomorrow afternoon, or morning or afternoon, depending on how my morning job goes tomorrow, will be our best bet. But we got this in there. Yeah, so now I just got to clean up and then get out of here for the day. I might put some braces back on here just so it holds the fence up tonight. But other than that, I think we're going to be coming back tomorrow to finish this thing up. So we got a few more updates. It is the next day. We got a few more updates. I was chatting with the customer last night, and she came home and took a look at what I was doing, and she really liked the work. But unfortunately, or apparently, I messed up on the estimate. I kind of screwed the pooch on that one. Apparently she wanted the gate replaced and that little side section of fence there, you know, that part that was kind of rotten out. Apparently she wanted that whole thing replaced. I did not originally estimate that, so I was kind of in a pickle where it's like, man, I hate like giving people an estimate or a price after I've already given the estimate or already started the work, you know what I mean? So I really was feeling bad. I gave her like a pretty like low price for it, and she was telling me, she's like, well, you know, like this is kind of hard. And so I told her, I'm like, yeah, you know, I totally understand. You know, I should have estimated this correctly in the first place, and I apologize for that. You know, what's a fair price in your mind? So she told me her budget, and then I said, okay, well, I'll do it for your budget. And she said, well, are you sure? Because, you know, I don't want you to, you know, be skimping yourself out and be missing out on money that you rightfully need for your hard work. So I really appreciate working with customers like this. So we went with a little bit lower than what I estimated her, you know, with the added on stuff, and a little bit higher than her budget. So we were able to work it out. So I really love customers that, you know, that money's not their top priority, but really helping you out and having a top quality job is their highest priority, because after all, that's what my highest priority is. So I feel like when those two mesh, you find your ideal customer. So anyways, I went to Home Depot. I got the materials to rebuild that side little portion of the fence there, so we're gonna get to that. So we're gonna head over to that project right now. Okay, here is the fence post that we put in at the end of the day yesterday, and I just went ahead and I wrapped up, you know, the rest of this yesterday, reattached this. But here's our cement from yesterday, and this new post we put in, rock solid. So this over here is what they want to replace, which totally makes sense because it is, yeah, pretty nasty. This whole post here is just completely warped. This is the new board I put up here, but I'm going to save that. But we'll replace this section here and then install our new gate, and we'll be done. Okay, we got this one in the cement here. Got some cement laid. I just put out this 2x4 right here just as kind of a marker so I get everything straight. Got my correct distance for my new gate. But this is our new post here. This other post was super rock solid. Didn't have any rot on it at all. So it was mainly this one and that 2x4 that went across the top. So we went ahead and got these all done. That one's super strong. So we're going to let this cure up for a little while, clean up here, and then we're going to start putting on our fence pickets and then put our gate on and finish this guy up. It's been about an hour and a half or so. So let's see what this looks like here. It's looking like it's getting hard. I think it's probably good enough to put some stringers on. Alright, we got our gate all set up. Now we just need to put the pickets on that little side fence there. So, we're going to get to that. Okay, we're all done with this this gate and side fence here. I think it turned out pretty good. So now we just got to get cleaned up and get out of here. Just want to show you guys kind of the last bits of it all. So here's the inside of the gate here. The inside of the little fence here. So we installed that new post there. That new post there. That one was good to go. Still need to install my latch, but that's all that's left. And then yeah, I'm going to cover up that cement there with some dirt and then clean up, and we'll get out of here. Alright, I'm all done with this project, got it all wrapped up. So this whole project, just kind of recap it and give you guys some of the logistics. So we did those 2 can lights in the kitchen, and I installed that 1 can light, that J-box mounted can light over the kitchen sink. Then I did the gate and that little side fence portion and the gate post next to the gate, and then 3 sprinkler valves, rehooked those up and rewired those and everything like that. So total for this job was $1,130. After all the adjustments, we decided on that price. She was super great with that. And so the materials for this project were about $250. So that leaves what I think it's about eight something, like $880 for profit or something like that. So worked out pretty good. I have a total of about 7 hours into this project, so not bad. And just one thing that I really learned from this job is if you get customers that, or if you care about customers and have their best interest in mind, they're going to have your best interest in mind, and it's all going to work out great. So that would be my 2 cents. So thank you all so much for watching this vlog, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great one.